Hello, everybody. So we are done with Rolabard structuralism. So now I already stepped into probably into post-structuralism, and I talked about Derrida. I introduced the important post-structuralist figure who is known as the father of deconstruction and whom we have to study, and that is Jacques Derrida. Okay, so let us today continue this discussion with reference to Derrida and how the coming of Derrida had actually established a milestone in the post-structuralist studies. Okay, so let's do it. Now, today I will try to clarify what is post-structuralism and what is deconstruction. Okay, please all of you sit down with your when you will be watching this video, you sit with your copies and your pen, because there are some very important concepts, the post-structuralist concepts, which you need to understand and to which you have to answer. The questions will be coming from that portion and you have to answer. Okay, now let us understand that how and what is the point from where we can move from structuralist to the post-structuralist. Okay, what is Saussure saying? In my last classes, last videos, I have said that what is Saussure in his discourse of general linguistics he was talking about. He said that the relation between a word and an actual object is completely arbitrary, which means that there is no real, no positive relation between an object and the word or the signifier with which we signify it. Okay, so for example, if this is a pen, then there is no explanation, no direct explanation that why it is called pen. What Saussure and as a structuralist he accounted for, that the language system, it is based on the rule of difference. Okay, negative relation, where pen is called a pen because it is not a cat, cat is called a cat which is not a dog. Okay, so we have seen that how in an alphabetical system we cannot define A without referring to B, we cannot define B without referring to C. So which means that there is no inherent internal self-contented self-contented definition to anything. If you want to define something, you have to refer to something else. So try to understand that what Derrida is talking about and how Derrida has pushed this this argument a little bit further. So for this we have to understand a very important concept that was introduced by Derrida. Okay, so he coined the term called difference. Please write down the spelling of the term: difffarance. Okay, so this is the spelling of difference. Sorry, DEFFERANCE. I don't think it is visible. Okay. Now, what is this difference? Difference is a concept, it is a word which consists of two more words. Okay, it is consisting of two concepts. The first concept is differ. DIFFER, differ. Okay, and the other concept is defer. DEFER. Okay, so difference is equal to, you will write in this manner in your copies, difference is equal to differ plus defer. Now what does this concept mean? Okay, now he said, Derrida is saying that we know that there is no positive relation, no direct relationship between a word, between a signifier and the signified. Okay, but Saussure is saying that we have to follow this structure. This is an arbitrary structure which culture and society has established for us, and for us it has been predestined that pen means this thing or copy means this thing. So there is no confusion. It is a system. It's a well laid system, and we all are supposed to follow this system. But Derrida questioned this. Derrida said that when we are saying pen, or when we are pronouncing any signifier, any word, how do you define it? Now today, if I ask you that what is the definition of pen, then what will you go? For searching definitions, we go to dictionaries. When we will go to the dictionary to know what is a pen, okay, the dictionary will provide you another set of words defining what is a pen, saying that a pen is an instrument with which we write. So all this, pen is an instrument with which we write. What are this? They are also signifiers. So going back to Shure, as he has said, that we can only learn, we can only understand one thing by referring to the other signifiers. Now Derrida, he says that in this manner, one word can only, or one signifier can only be defined in terms of its difference from the other signifiers. First concept, differ. Okay, what he says, that how can we define one word? One word, one signifier can only be defined with the help of the other signifiers. Okay, but at the same time he's saying that this chain of signifiers, okay, does not help us to reach the actual object or to know the actual object. Okay, what is he saying? That to know one term, we are referring to the other signifiers. Again, if you want to know what is the meaning of instrument, you will again go to the dictionary and search for the meaning of the word instrument. Again, you will get another set of words, that is another set of signifiers. So what Derrida is saying, that this is actually nothing but a play, a constant delaying of meaning. According to Derrida, because of this process of difference and and the deferral here means, deferring means delaying. What is happening? We are not able to get into or to reach to the actual meaning. Never, never ever. Because this is a play where we are moving from one signifier to the other signifier, other signifier to the another signifier. This is a chain that goes on and on without actually understanding or really getting the meaning of the real object. Okay, you have to understand that this is the difference between the structuralist and the post-structuralist, where the structuralist said that this is a system which has been laid, though it is arbitrary, but it helps us to understand the world outside. Okay, but Barth and later Derrida, they said that text or the words on the page, okay, they are self-sufficient, okay, and they do not depend or refer to anything outside the text, that is the real world. Okay, they are saying that the text is not able to connect or to represent the real world lying outside there. Okay, now here there is this concept, another concept which you need to write is of transcendental signified. Okay, transcendental signified. I'm telling you the spelling: TRANSCENDENTAL. Transcendental signified. Signified you can write. Now what is Derrida saying? That transcendental signified is actually the ultimate meaning which all of us want to reach, okay, through the help of the text. But because of this process of difference and the deferral, we are not able to get to the transcendental signified. Therefore, according to Derrida, this transcendental signified is something which always stands outside the text and which we are never able to reach. This transcendental signified can also be associated with ideas like truth, okay, with God, or with the term called logos. Okay, you probably have done phallogocentrism, in your feminist discourse classes with another teacher. So there is this word called phallogocentrism. One word which it refers to is logos, if you have done the classes. So here this transcendental signified can also be identified with concepts like truth, God, okay, or the logos. Okay, when I was teaching you, if I connect this entire thing with the real world outside, let me tell you, in one of my classes I told you that when modernism was ending, okay, then people had lost all their faith on God. Okay, so this is the time, and this is what is reflected in literary theory. The loss of the ultimate meaning or the transcendental signified actually reflects the loss of God, the loss of ultimate truth, the loss of finality in the world. Okay, so this is the concept of difference and transcendental signified. Okay, look, there is a very important essay which I actually referred to in one of my last classes. In 1967, probably, there was a lecture given by Derrida. The title of the lecture I mentioned, that is Structure, Sign and Play. Okay, in that particular thing he has actually enumerated and introduced all these ideas. So look, what is it referring to? The word play is very important. According to him, it is all about a play of words. And in this play of words and signifiers, the ultimate meaning is never reached. Okay. As I told you that both Derrida and Roland Barthes, they are actually trying to, they were opposing the higher authorities. Okay, they want to deconstruct this higher authority. Okay, that is why through the means of literary theory, by abolishing the idea of the final author or the final meaning, they are trying to raise their voice. Okay. Now there are a few more concepts which we need to study here. One of them is trace. Okay, trace, aporia, and finally I'll tell you what is deconstruction. Okay, reconstruction actually comprises of everything which I'm saying, which I'm talking about. What do we mean by Derridian deconstruction? But let me tell you that what is a trace. Trace is actually a kind of spectral presence. What is a spectral presence? That is also something which we need to study. If I have to define the term pen, and if I give the definition that pen is an instrument through which we write, then each of the signifiers which is actually helping us to define this particular signifier, pen, they come with their own baggage of trace. They come with their own baggage of history. Okay, because the term instrument again has its own definition, own set and chain of signifiers attached to it. The term write has its own chain of signifiers attached to it. So whenever we are trying to define one signifier, one word, then it contains the traces of the other signifiers. It contains the traces of the other signifier. Though there is a negative relation, but still it contains the traces, it contains the hints, It contains the baggage of the other signifiers. So this is the concept of trace. Okay. Now, what is Derrida actually trying to say here, and what is aporia? Now, in this manner, if we move forward, then we can see that we are reaching a position where there is no meaning. So this lack of meaning is something which in the Derridian language he calls as the aporia. Okay, aporia means the lack of resolution. Aporia means the meaninglessness. Okay, so the Derridian deconstruction actually, or the Derridian way of reading actually leads us to a situation which we call as the ultimate aporia, where there is no meaning. Okay, what if asked that what is this deconstruction, then let me tell you that deconstruction, first of all, be very clear that deconstruction is not destruction. Okay, we often confuse these two terms, that deconstruction means destruction. When you are destructing something, that means you are spoiling it. Okay, but deconstruction means to overturn or to dismantle the present structure. This is called deconstruction, and this is what Derrida has tried to do. Okay, deconstruction means dismantling the present construction and making a new construction out of it. Okay, this is called deconstruction. Okay, in my next video I'll talk a little bit in depth regarding deconstruction, the mode of reading by the reader. Okay.